Now I asked two questions here, two related questions, one kind of related to power function graphs, one not. The first question, which has the simpler answer, is if you have y equals b to the x, if that's your function, and remember that is an exponential function. Y is an exponential function of x. And you know that y equals 4 when x equals 3. Our question is, what is the value of b? Okay, what's the value of b if for this function y equals 4 when x equals 3? Now, to solve that, you would plug 4 in for y and 3 for b, or 3 for x, and then try to solve that as an equation that you can solve for b. So we do that. Plug 4 in for y, we get 4. Plug 3 in for x, we get 3. So we get 4 equals b to the third. Can we solve that for b? Well, we certainly can. We can take the 1/3 power of both sides, or if you prefer, the cube root of both sides. Okay? So we get, on this side, we get, well, we take the cube root of both sides. The cube root of 4 equals the cube root of b cubed. And the cube root of b cubed is b, so b is the cube root of 4. Now, you can't construct the cube root of 4. You can't extract the cube root. There's a way to do it, but nobody does it that way. You can use your calculator or your computer, and you get a very reliable result for the cube root of 4. Okay? And let's see, what would that be? Around 1.5, 1.6, somewhere between 1.6 maybe and 1.7, pretty close to 1.6 if I'm thinking right. So I think maybe just a little less than 1.6. Anyhow, you can do that. 1.6 squared is 2.56, and 1.6 times 2.56 I believe is a little more than 4. So I think the cube root of 4 would be a little less than 1.6. Okay, anyhow, another question. Y equals x to the p, a different function. This is, of course, a power function. It would be worth writing that. Okay, y equals x to the p. There's a power function. And this time, again, y equals 4 when x equals 3. What's the value of p? Because we know y and x, there's only one variable, one unknown in this equation, and that's p. Well, okay, we plug in our y value, we plug in our x value, we get 4 for y, 3 for x, giving us equation 4 equals 3 to the p. Now, I turn that around because we usually like to have the variable that we're solving for on the left. That's just kind of customary. It's not absolutely necessary, but I'm going to write it like that because we want the final result to be p equals something. Well, 3 to the p equals 4. Now, this course only requires an Algebra 1 and geometry background. Even in Algebra 2, you don't usually learn how to solve this equation. This usually comes in a mathematics analysis, high school analysis, or pre-calculus class. The way that's done is you use logarithms. And some of you understand logarithms and know them. Some of you have never seen them or heard of them. So all I'm going to tell you is that the solution to 3 to the p equals 4 is that p equals the log of 4 divided by the log of 3. Okay? So 3 to the p equals 4, solution is log of this number, log of 4, divided by the log of this number, log of 3. You don't have to understand why that's true, although in this course, when we end up constructing more exponential functions, you can kind of flip the exponential function in a certain way, the graph of the exponential function, and you get the graph of the log function. And then you could estimate, based on the graph of the log function, the value of p from this equation. Okay, or at least from this convention that we'll take. Okay, now there's a lot more to learn about logarithms. Logarithms are they are inverse to exponential functions, and the laws of exponents all translate over in an inverse manner to the laws of logarithms. So there's a whole lot about laws of logarithms that you have to become accustomed to really manipulate them. We're not going to do that in this course. That can wait until you get to it in a pre-calculus or mathematical analysis, high school mathematical analysis course. Big difference between high school mathematical analysis and college mathematical analysis. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. So you can use your calculator to evaluate this. You have a log button on your calculator, so you can find the log of 4, and you can find the log of 3, and you can divide the two. And most calculators now, you can even, use parentheses and division signs and so forth, and just put in the expression log 4 divided by log 3. Better put parentheses around that log 3 because you don't want to divide by, well, you want to make sure you have parentheses around the thing you're dividing by. And you get the value of P. So that's perfectly legitimate for this course. We're not using the calculator to construct these graphs. We're not using the calculator at this point to do much of anything. But if you want to find the value of P from two values, from a value of X and a value of Y for a power function, Y equals X to the P, you're going to need to use your calculator. Okay, now I've got something written down here about y factor 1.25 equals 5/4, but we'll come around to that when and if we need to. Now there's something in green here that actually the instruction starts here, moves this way, moves up to here, and moves up to here. It's something people did successfully, so I'm not even going to follow up by showing it, but we'll go over those instructions in the next video.